All right, guys, welcome to the webinar that I wanted you guys to get on. This is the only shortcut, that's what I'm calling it. And today I'm going to go over some really great content for you guys to be able to walk out of this webinar with something valuable to hold on to and take action with. That's really my main goal today. So in the presentation, I'm going to get like straight to the point. This is stuff that I want to say to a lot of people one-on-one when they come to me and ask questions. But it's better to say it to a group of people because it just makes it easier for me to say because I'm actually being like really straight up, not really trying to sugarcoat anything, but get straight to the point with some of the other things I've been seeing around. Okay, so hopefully guys take notes. Seriously, pull out a notebook, pull out a pen, take some notes, guys. It's going to be some good stuff we're talking about today, and it's going to be important stuff that not a lot of people goes over. And pretty much everything I wanted to cover today was my analysis of what I think is missing currently for anyone that's not where they want to be. Can everybody see my screen clearly and hear me nice and clear? Awesome. Deb says no. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. Okay. All right, guys, 2 more minutes and we'll get started here. Hope you guys are doing really good today. Can't see the screen. Can everyone see the screen? I cannot see your, oh. Okay, okay, okay. All right, awesome. The only shortcut, that's right. Thanks, Kathy. All right, so loud and clear and visually clear, and we're gonna get started here in just about 1 minute. Is this part of my monthly training? No, this is just a webinar that I had on my schedule. It's a pop-up emergency webinar. Been meaning to run this webinar for a while. Commission Bubble kind of took the place of what this webinar was originally supposed to be, and since then I've been just like following up with customers there, and I finally got the time to sit down and actually systemize this and figure out what exactly needs to be done. Wow, you have the one and only shortcut, right? All right, we'll address the shortcut thing right here in about 30 seconds. Gary Bailey. You can email me at ezra@wickmarketing.com or Facebook inbox to reach me. Facebook inbox might get a quicker response. All right, 2:05 is approaching, and we're gonna get started here. All right, guys, again, I want you to take notes with anything that pops out to you, anything that you hear that sounds like it's something that will resonate with you. If you're going through this kind of thing, if it's something that speaks to you, write it down. Make sure you watch the replay as well, see if you miss anything. I am going to be going over a number of topics here and giving my opinion on them and a number of tips that I think will get you fast forwarded through the fog. That's what the shortcut thing is about. Okay, so the entire shortcut thing. I made a post on my or in my commission bubble group about the whole shortcut thing. Of course, shortcut has a bad reputation. Everyone wants a shortcut. The actual shortcut that has the bad reputation though is the kind of like one-click software, copy and paste, don't do anything, sit back with your feet up and just relax while you have money just flowing in. That's not the kind of shortcut that I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is an actual shortcut, to success. Like I said in my post, coaching is a shortcut to success. When I got started in 2011 or 2010, right around that area, it took me a while to actually figure out what I was doing. So like I wasted a ton of time, over a year, doing stupid stuff. Okay, so if I would have known better to go in and actually get a mentor, it would have been a lot easier on me. Okay, so I'm not selling coaching or anything in this call. I don't really have any slots open for coaching anyway. But just to make that point, that is something that I consider a shortcut. You will reach success faster with one than without one, especially when you're first getting started, because you're going to more than likely do a lot of dumb things when you're first getting started, wasting a lot of time spending money. All right, so let's hop into the clarity is a shortcut. That's yeah, exactly. Good point there. All right, guys, I will do a Q&A at the end. So try to hold off your questions there. I won't really be looking at the question box while I'm going through the slides here. And write down anything if you have any questions that pop up so you don't forget. All right, let's get into it. Me. Really quickly, for anyone that's new, I know Commission Bubble, I had a few new customers coming in, so I'm going to get started with a quick introduction of myself. You know me, I don't like talking about myself too much, okay? So here's a quick introduction of me. Started internet marketing in March 2010. Okay, so 2010 is when I started. I started actually making money in June 2011. So if you see the time difference there, I was actually working at it for a long time before I even made any real money. I made, my first dollar within that year, and it was cool. The first dollar is always cool, but I needed to pay bills, so it wasn't really after the first dollar high faded away. I was like, okay, I really need to pay bills. I kept working at it. Everyone talked a bunch of crap about me that entire year of trying and failing and trying and failing. I tried everything from the casino hacks to everything, a whole bunch of dumb stuff I was trying basically because I needed to figure out a way to make money on my own. My wife's family thought I was an idiot. They came at my neck telling me to take care of the family and stuff like that. And I had a bigger vision, and I did try to go get a job. They didn't, of course, think I was actually looking for a job, but I was looking for a job. Even with being a veteran, I was a veteran in the Navy. I had a hard time finding a job that would pay me decent money. Okay, so I wasn't really trying to take the minimum wage job. I was going to, if it lasted too long, I was going to be willing to take a job to help fund my internet marketing career. That wouldn't have been me folding, but me going and taking a job to fund my internet marketing career because I was spending a lot of money during that year to try to get things going. I made my first money in the CPA world by basically utilizing the quote unquote shortcut we speak about today, but framed in the CPA world. So there's a couple differences in the way it's set up. It's a little bit more simple in the CPA world, but that's basically what brought my first real money. Focused on CPA for a long time, and then I got into Teespring as soon as Don Wilson released this free case study video showing him making $20,000 from a T-shirt. So that caught my attention like that. I'm like, what does this guy got going on here? He did the free case study, which is awesome of him, and I pretty much took off right there. Hit it hard, never looked back. I know Don wasn't the first person to do Teespring, but he pushed it out to the masses, and I was one of the first people right on board as soon as he released that video, and I started doing testing. And fast forward today, I'm focused on Teespring and Shopify, building brands in Shopify, and loving every single minute of it. All right, so that's it. That's my quick bio. I know most webinars they'll go on about themselves, like for an hour, but that's not my plan here. I left out a bunch of sob stories about my past and my life that a lot of people like to include, but I want to just jump into the meat. So let's jump right in. How about that? You guys excited? You guys ready to hear some good content? I want some engagement. I'm not usually the give me a one guy, but I need you guys to give me ones, twos, whatever I ask for today. Have some fun today. So let me know if you're ready. Put a one in the chat box before I get started. Oh, loving it. Oh, I see why people do this. It's awesome. Adrenaline rush, all these ones in here. All right, let's go. Jump right in. This is the first section, and this is all about jumping right in, feet first. Don't dip your toe in, jump right in, and hit this thing massively. Use this commission bubble system. Hit it massively, guys. Do not tiptoe around. I've seen people, they'll come to me and say, "Hey, this stuff is not working." And I say, "Hey, how many campaigns have you launched?" I've launched one so far. It's not doing it. Wait. You've launched one so far? Okay, that's where the problem is. I didn't start off launching one campaign and I sat on it and looked around. I launched campaigns heavily, which is why in the beginning, when I first got it started with Teespring, I was launching a lot of campaigns before I even sold one shirt. I think it was over 30 or 40 shirts. Okay. All right, the difference between planning and doing. Make sure you guys are taking notes to anything that pop out, okay? Planning and doing is two totally different feelings, guys. When you're planning on doing something, you get this kind of adrenaline rush feeling. You're ready to go. You're pumped up. You're visualizing how it's going to get done. You're ready to go. You're like, oh man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put up 2 shirts a day, 3 shirts a day. I'm just going to, go all in. And then when you sit down at the computer, this is the doing part. When you sit down in front of the computer, it's a different feeling. You guys kind of notice that you sit down at the computer and it's something else usually kicks in. This might not be for everyone, but a lot of the time once you sit at that computer chair, the planning kind of feeling goes out the window, and now it's the doing feeling. The doing feeling is totally different, okay? The planning feeling, it feels really good. It's like this euphoria. But when you sit down at your chair, that's reality. It's like, all right, it's time to actually start moving the mouse around and clicking buttons and typing stuff. And that usually tends to lead people to plan more because they love the feeling of planning. It feels like we're getting something done. It feels like we're taking steps. When in all reality, we're just over planning. So the first thing I like to tell people is to stop over planning. Stop over planning, okay? Perfection sucks. It never works out. It's never going to get perfect to how you're visualizing it. That one of the most important lessons I had to teach myself was there's never a right day. Like when I used to struggle to get things going, I would I would just continuously start over, start fresh on a new day. Like, all right, this is the day, and now I'm going to do something every single day starting from this day. And then a couple of days pass, and I'll fall off, and then I'm like, all right, say it's a Thursday, and I'm like, all right, Monday we're gonna hit it hard, boom, okay, let's do it. Why not Thursday? That's one thing I never like got to really understand in the beginning was stop waiting for a certain day, stop waiting for a certain time for something. That's planning. That's goes along with the planning, just pushing it out and over planning more. There's no perfect day. There's no perfect time to get started. Okay, you don't have to figure everything out to get started. You need the core. You need the core things. Everything, all of that stuff is in Commission Bubble. All you need is Commission Bubble to get started, and you will learn through experience. Now, what we're talking about today is as a way to try to cut through some of the fog during that learning curve. Okay. Let's go back here. Doing. All right. Let's talk a little bit about doing. We talk more about the planning part, how it feels, and then doing the thing. It changes up, but the part that's most important is that doing is what actually creates the riches. Doing creates riches, okay? Planning does nothing really. Like you can plan, it's okay to plan, but don't overdo it. Start doing the beginning of your plan while you're still planning. Don't complete the plan. Start out the plan, get 25%, 35% done, and then start the beginning of your plan while you're still working on finishing your plan. People avoid doing or they just do stupid things instead. They'll start doing and they'll just do things that don't even matter really. Like it's like the small tedious things, and again that goes back to the feeling of, hey, I'm doing stuff, I'm actually taking action, I'm working hard. And then when we analyze what they're doing, the tasks they're doing every day, it's not connected to making money. It's more of those tedious tasks more fun tasks that they like to do, just to feel like they're actually moving forward, when in reality they're kicking themselves for not actually working on the tasks that are connected to the money coming into their pockets. That's what we all have to figure out, what few tasks are connected to the money. We need to do those tasks, and then we need to outsource everything else. Okay, I don't care if you're a newbie and outsourcing scares you. It's not as serious as it sounds. Okay, you don't have to have people just on payroll and you don't know what to do with them. If you're not ready for that, there's ways to start smarter, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So do what successful people do, and avoid doing what the people who fail do. That's part of the doing side. Do what you see people like that are winning do. Avoid what you're seeing the losers do. I don't think people looks at this enough, because the quality of shirts and campaigns I see, I don't think they really did their research looking at the failed campaigns to see if their campaign has any relation to all of these campaigns that failed. A lot of times it does. The difference between success and failure. Um, so every person that succeeds, every person that goes on to make $1 million, whatever it is, they once sucked at the topic that they're working on. You have to realize that, especially for the beginners. We're all human, and to get good, we have to practice what we want to get good at, and that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take work and consistent action, doing something every day. That's the most, you're going to hear me say that a lot, doing something every day, because that's the most important thing, and to pick the right things to do every day as well. To get better, we originally looked toward someone that's like great at it, right? Like that is master, whatever we're trying to get into. For example, when we're kids and we're learning to walk, learning to talk, learning how to solve problems, we're looking at our parents as the guru, right? They're the guru of walking. They know exactly how to walk. We're looking at them. We're studying them. We're not just doing a quick read. I hate when people tell me that, like, we talk about reading books and they tell me they read a book and they just read it and that's it. And they never picked it up again. That's not the idea here. That's not what you did in the beginning to learn. You studied things, like, seriously all day. That's what you did. You studied the details. So it took like constantly analyzing and trying over and over again and failing, which takes dedication and persistence. Of course, one of those key things that I try to let loose in the beginning, like right up front in the sales page for a commission bubble. Like, hey, this is going to take persistence. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people didn't read that though, because I've had so many people come to me and say they only launched one campaign or two campaigns and they're frustrated already. And like, you have to understand, like, I launched 30 or 40 campaigns in the beginning before I sold one shirt. Okay, you have to have tougher skin, pretty much. Um, just don't do the wrong things over and over and not reach out for help to make sure that you're doing the right things, and make sure you're looking at the market, what other people are doing, so you can compare it against what you're doing. The difference between success and failure pretty much is, some people, even if they have the best knowledge, they choose to quit before ever giving it a real honest try. That's it. You can have the best knowledge ever. You can, I mean, when we're looking up to our mom and dad, looking at how they're walking, the way they move their hips and put their foot forward and really studying it, that's the best knowledge. But if the baby just, after the 30th time of falling, he said, this doesn't work. This is a scam. Walking is a scam. I'm done," and just start crawling the rest of his life. I don't think that would be very good for him by the time he hit high school. But honestly, like, seriously, we're built, we're born with the will to fight through this kind of stuff. People have pretty much become kind of soft in a sense. Like, as soon as something goes wrong, they bail. They're done. Just picture the baby just bailing from whatever he's trying to learn. And like, it's just when you think about that, it's like, it's funny, but that's exactly what's going on here. We lost all of our fight as we got older, and you have to get that back, especially in this business. Um, so tons of people, they get into a business opportunity looking for a reason to get out of it. Like I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like honestly, being transparent, some of the refund requests I get for when I do small informational products, it's crazy to me. Like it's like they get in looking for some type of reason to get out. So it's like you don't even get into a business opportunity in the right mindset in the beginning. So I'm not sure how you expect to pull in money with that kind of attitude. You know, I'll share the most recent one with you honestly, um, real quick. I get an email about a refund. The guy says, "Hey, a commission bubble. I went through it. I tried it. It didn't work. Okay, it didn't work for me. I need a refund." I emailed them back just to be. I don't usually do this, but I just emailed them back and said, "Hey, okay, if you tried it, it didn't work. Can you at least send me a link or two to a campaign you launched? I'll look at it, give you some tips, and send you on your way with a refund." He messaged me back and said, "Hey, listen, just to be transparent, I didn't even launch anything yet. I didn't even finish the course. My girlfriend, she was mad that I did blah 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 blah, skipping all the story there, but I get it all the time. It's like we're getting into an opportunity that, Pedro and Mariana, they're crushing it, and this is the exact system. Like there's no excuse. Period. There's no excuse. This is the exact system. We didn't leave anything out. Um, so it's like, how can you so easily give something like this up? I don't know. But don't be that person that enters, a business opportunity looking for a way out as soon as they get in. Be focused on one thing, like focus on commission bubble and that system right there, pumping that system out. Focus on that. Focus on t-shirts. Like if you want to do t-shirts, focus on t-shirts. If you want to do CPA, focus on CPA. Pick something. Don't dabble around in a lot of things. If it's the nature of commission bubble, of promoting t-shirts, necklaces, and stuff like that, if that's what you choose to do, focus on that. Okay, that's that's very important right there. And this is okay. The next slide here. Pick the right system and follow it like your life dependent on it. Follow it rigorously. Okay. Commission Bubble is a system that a number of people, including myself, have used to find huge success. Okay, so like I said, there's no excuses. All of the steps are inside of the system, and we made it as clear as possible, but of course there's still things that a product cannot deliver, period. And that's where coaching usually comes in to clean up um, those mistakes that are unseen. All you need is like one. All you need is one like person to succeed with something, and you see them do it. Like if you see someone person succeed with a system, then you know it's possible for you to succeed. If someone, like, there's no difference between any one of us. So if someone person succeeds, you can do the same thing. Now we're looking at dozens and dozens of people that have succeeded with a particular system. You have to do whatever it takes to figure out how to make it work for yourself as well. You have to have that domination beast mentality going into anything. Quitters have it the hardest. They quit and they start something new. They quit and they start something new, and it's a vicious cycle. And it it's the hardest thing to do. It's way harder than sticking it out through the failures, sticking it out through the failed campaigns and the frustrations. It's way harder than that because it's going to be so long before you finally snap out of this. Okay, I have to focus on one thing for a while. Just stop that and make sure you're doing that right now. Okay, everyone on this call, make sure you're focusing on one thing right now. I highly suggest you focus on the t-shirt necklace selling business and use the commission bubble system as your walkthrough to get there. Fear. Fear, fear, fear. Okay, so fear is one of those things that stops people from taking action. That goes back to the difference between planning and doing. Fear makes you plan more. You plan so much, like, because you're scared to start actually taking action. So you just keep on planning, keep on planning, keep on planning, and taking in that good euphoric feeling you get from planning. And it doesn't. It just hurts you more in the end. So make sure you're dropping all irrational fear from your life. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of challenges, hard work, disappointment. You know, just get rid of all of it. Okay, starting today, get rid of all of it. I know that's hard to just say. It's easier said than done, but none of these make any sense. These fears don't make any sense. These aren't the original fears we had. Okay, we were scared of whatever lions chasing us or something. Like, we're not supposed to be scared of these kind of things. Okay, let's talk about roadblocks. The most common roadblocks I've seen so far with people getting started with the system or with any system. All right, not knowing where to start, first of all. This kills a lot of people in the beginning. It's usually less about not knowing where to start, though, and more fear of starting again and having to face the reality of sitting down and starting to launch ads, and that idea failed. And you have to stomach that, right? And keep going. After a while, you will not, that won't affect you anymore. The failures won't affect you anymore. The failed campaigns, you just realize that's part of the business, especially when you start getting those winning campaigns that pay off the rest of the failed campaigns. So, like, a lot of people claim they don't know where to start, but even if they have a complete system like Commission Bubble, that's where to start. That's where you start. I mean, we kept it simple there and crystal clear, so you know exactly where to start. It's just the starting that's the problem. Sit down and actually start, and pay attention to the quality of the concepts you're choosing, and really just study Commission Bubble. If you only went through Commission Bubble once or twice, then that could be a problem right there. Like, there's a lot of things that I say that might come off as not so groundbreaking, but they're huge if you can pay attention to detail and catch them. Again, the irrational fears. You know, this is when I do coaching, this is one of the things that I have to break down first, because it's so common for people to be like naturally scared of all of these things, of success, failure, hard work, all of that stuff, because I was as well. You have to just educate yourself on the topic of living in the moment, and the fear will go away. Okay, you have to actually practice that stuff, though. You have to study it. You have to practice it. I recommend The Practicing Mind. I forget the author, but that's one of my favorite books about living in the moment. And if you're not reading books, by the way, while we're on it, if you're not reading a lot, you're already behind. Like, you have to read a lot. You can't be the guy that I don't like reading, or I read every once in a while. You get a lot of ideas when you read that will keep you pushing. So make sure you're reading a lot. But The Practicing Mind is one of those required reading materials I like to give to my coaching students to get them on the same level. So go get that. Get it on Audible tonight. Go study it. Take notes, because it is the number one thing that allowed me to drop all of those irrational fears that we talked about. Very important thing. If you don't do that, then you're going to be working from a bad place. Sitting down and working from a fearful, confused place is only going to produce low quality work. Big roadblock here. Half-assing is a huge roadblock. Okay, the first step is admitting that you're half-assing. Most people will not admit it. They'll just sit back all day and argue that they're working hard all day, 12-hour days. Again, but when we look at the tasks that they're doing, they're playing games. They're playing around. They're clicking around. They're scrolling their news feed. They're hopping around emails. It's not a serious work day. Okay, so not saying you're not working hard, but many people who work hard are doing the tasks that are just not productive, and they're not connected to the money. So that's the number one thing that you have to do. What's connected to the money in this business is it's finding concepts, finding that winner. concepts, that's what the money is there. So you want to spend a lot of your time on concepts, and then of course, launching the ads, that's really what's connected to the money. So you have to always have your hand on that side of the business. Always launch your own ads, and continue looking for your own ideas as well. Those are two things that I don't like to outsource too much. Um, but yeah, like half-assing is like the silent killer because people won't admit it. They'll just swear they're working so hard, but at the end of the day, they'll just sit and do a lot of things that don't matter. For example, like say we're for what we're doing, an average day of the hard worker would be to find um, a couple ideas, move on and try to start designing them if they don't have a designer yet, and then go check out their email and play around on Facebook, go to WorldStar or something, and by the time they know it, it's noon and they haven't really got anything done. When you work intently in your business and actually only work during work hours, by noon you have more done than most people get done in a week if you have the right system, depending on what time you wake up. And I wake up at 5, and by 12 I have a lot of stuff done. Okay. So find the few important tasks that are connected to the money, okay? And spend your time mastering those tasks, okay? Master them. Master finding ideas, master targeting, okay? Get that stuff out of the way. Matter of fact, like actually spend a whole week working on listing all of this stuff out. So on Monday, just find new niches to test. On Tuesday, just find concepts all day. Wednesday, do extreme targeting all day and build out your interest list. Okay, so the idea is to build lists so eventually you have nothing to do but to launch ads and look at your like scaling and stuff like that and put all of your attention there. Build a team as fast as you can as well to help you with this. Like I said earlier, like you don't have to have a huge team and like have people in the Philippines on payroll paying them an hour. You can start smart, like build a profile of people that can do things that you cannot do or that you do slowly, from Fiverr. Fiverr has great people over there, and you can find someone to be your employee on standby, to cover anything. Matter of fact, there's a customer of mine who messaged me and said, this was just the other day, he messaged me and said, hey, yesterday I spent all day trying to figure out this WordPress issue with my site. And he showed me what the issue was. I had no clue what to do. I'm not like the WordPress guy. But I asked him, like, why did you spend all day yesterday doing that? Like, you don't have anybody to fix WordPress errors? Like, you spent an entire day working on something that has nothing to do with your core business. Like, this is not anything you should be doing. And I don't have anything to help you with. I'm not a WordPress guy. So you need to go on Fiverr, find a WordPress guy, and tell them to fix it. Like, it's that simple. Like, stop playing games. It's that simple. Go find someone that knows how to do what you can't do and have them do it for you, okay? He went to Fiverr, found a guy, and got it fixed literally in less than an hour and a half, since me telling him that. And he wasted a whole day the day before playing around, looking at tutorials and reading articles about how to fix WordPress issues. So if you don't have the money to really get people on board as far as local employees or online jobs.ph, just build a profile of people with skills out there on Fiverr. And anytime you have an issue come up or you need an assistant to help you with something, just go grab them and they will help you. You have to be smart about this and then look for a team even when you're just getting started, so you can begin focusing on mastering the task that's connected to the money. Okay, so if you're half-assing, look in the mirror, admit it, and cut it out. All right, I suggest kind of like forcing yourself to do productive tasks every day. One thing that I recommend my coaching students as well is for them to pull out a sheet of paper and on the top of it write, every day I promise to ... Make a list, no more than 8 things, like a list of like self-help, personal growth type of things that you will do every day to keep you moving on your path, okay? Every day. No, not skipping any days, every day, and be committed to doing it every day for the next year. Have that mindset. And by writing it on a piece of paper, every day I promise to, you're promising yourself. You're not promising anyone else. You put it on your desk, you see it every day. It's kind of hard to just ignore that and say, oh, I promised, but whatever. This promise is for your success, so it's like you have to take it serious. All right, insecurity. Now I have a lot of people on the call right now saying I'm not insecure. What are you talking about? It's not just about looks. Okay, 99% of the people would not admit that they're insecure, but insecure is it's way more than looks and how most people look at it. It's just about uncertainty about yourself, about you being the person that's going to succeed with this business, that's going to turn this into a multi-million dollar business. If you're not aiming for millions, you need to start aiming for millions, because you have to have that mindset. Okay, you can't be insecure about like you have to have supreme confidence, bottom line. And you have to practice building your confidence every single day. Practice, like read books, do little exercises, whatever you have to do to build your confidence, so you sit down and you feel like a millionaire, like seriously, wow, even if your lights are about to get cut off, you sit down and you can feel like a millionaire. You have that confidence. You're going to put out great quality content, okay? So stop always, questioning yourself, questioning your worth, if you're good enough, smart enough. Um, these thoughts, how can you put out quality with these kind of thoughts always circulating in your head? You're going to be going crazy. Like, you're going to put out bad quality. So you have to figure out a way to get a hold of that, okay? It's virtually impossible to put out good quality while you're sitting there beating yourself up. Way too many people say, hey, I'm my biggest critic. I'm always hard on myself. I beat myself off all the time, as if it's some type of badge to wear. If they're proud of it, it's not. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. You wouldn't want to teach your kids to beat themselves up when they get older and be so hard on themselves. That's detrimental to your success, okay? So practice supreme confidence in yourself, because supreme confidence produces great results, great quality. Okay. The shortcut to success. Let me take a little swig here. All right, guys, let's get into the shortcut to success and explain what I'm talking about here, okay? Study the successful and the unsuccessful. All right? Study the successful and the unsuccessful. This works in any business for anything. For example, say you're a teenager going to high school, planning on playing basketball or something, getting a scholarship, getting drafted. You're going to look at the best basketball player in the NBA. You're going to study his moves. You're going to study his history, his work ethic, and you're going to hit it hard, okay? You're also going to study the guys that can't play, the guys that sit on the bench. You want to look at those guys. Why are they on the bench the entire season? It's not that they're a failure. I'm not saying that they're a failure because they're making a lot of money as well, but we're talking about the difference between a Steph Curry and somebody that just sits on the bench and never plays. There's a huge difference there, a huge difference. All right, so it usually comes down to work ethic and how much they're mastering their craft. In the Gear Bubble, Teespring, Shopify world, you absolutely have to study the crap out of both sides of the field. And that's where a lot of people screw up. They might look at, well, most people don't study at all. They don't do anything. Some study like the successful, and only a few study both to see what both sides of the coin looks and feels like, so they know how to react whenever it happens. Like, people don't know how to react when things happen. Like, even when they succeed, they don't know what to do. Like, I see this a lot with the Shopify thing. especially moving from a custom print place like Teespring where they take care of your fulfillment. People move over to Shopify, and they're not ready to succeed because they didn't study the success stories. They succeed, and all of a sudden they're having fulfillment problems because they can't keep up. Now they're having complaints. Now their business is in jeopardy because they weren't prepared for that success. On the other side, looking at people that are failing and asking, why are they failing? Seriously, why? And that's the question that you always want to ask yourself. You have to pretty much know what people like you have been through to get where they are, or to avoid wherever they are, on both sides of the coin. If you only study cases of success, you'll only know what to expect when things are going good, and on the flip side, right? So let's see. Let's go ahead into the next one. Pay attention to the details, which is connected to everything. This is something that I learned in the Navy. This is something that they drilled in my head in the Navy, to pay attention to the details. Pay attention to the details. And this is a skill not a lot of people give the time of day. They just don't even try to pay attention to the details. Like I can give countless stories of people's problem being connected to them not paying attention to detail. The most important skill I learned in the military was paying attention to detail. That's pretty much the only thing I feel I took from the military. I wasn't a big fan of the military, but that's one skill that I took away from it that gave me the drive to get things done in my current business. When it comes to our line of work, Teespring, Gear Bubble, we absolutely have to study the fine details that's the root cause of a particular campaign success or failure, okay? I don't know how many times I witnessed people's lack of attention to detail just ruin their entire business, okay? And it happens every day. Like, I'm trying to really put into words how important it really is, and I can't find the word. It's that important. Like, you have to look at all aspects of a shirt, the way the design is lined up, like how much space is in between the lines of the design. Like, I'm talking about real detail. So when you start looking into cases of successful sellers on Teespring or Gear Bubble, and you get your hands on their campaigns, you want to make sure you're looking at all of the fine details of what makes up a campaign success or their failure. So it's the niche. What niche are they targeting, right? What kind of niche is it? What do they do? What do they like? It's the design. What kind of design? Look at their design, like I just said, all of the details there, whatever concept they're launching, who they're targeting. You have to know who they're targeting to get a good idea of who you should go and target. Their fan page, the ad banner, ad copy, and their fan feedback. These are all things that you want to really dive deep in and uncover as much gold as you can from this data. Okay, this is actual direct in the field data here. These are the key elements that make up a campaign's ultimate success or failure. So these are the areas you need to study and master. The key is to do it often enough where you're like constantly practicing and mastering, and to do it big. Take action on all of the valuable insight that you get from this kind of research, okay? So practice looking deep into the nooks and crannies of each campaign that you see. Every time you see it, don't just scroll past the campaign. Set aside some time, look deep into the nooks and cranny, and ask yourself why. Ask the right questions. Why is the right question to start. So when you're looking at these successful campaigns and the ones that didn't go on to succeed, you have to ask yourself the right questions that will provide you the golden nuggets that you're looking for to apply to your own business. So it's like, why did this campaign succeed? Or why did this campaign fail? Honestly, why? What is the main driving force behind this success or this failure? What niche are they targeting? What kind of shirts is the niche buying? Did they decide to do a LOL shirt when this niche is more so like they like pride shirts more? What makes the niche tick? What makes them laugh? What kind of design, the concept um, do are they looking for? All of these things you want to ask yourself when you're actually looking at successful campaigns. Okay, and if you haven't caught it yet, reverse engineering is the shortcut. Reverse engineering is the shortcut to success other than personal coaching, which can obviously run you a huge price tag. Reverse engineering, not so much. I mean, you can do this yourself, but it's all about making sure you are doing it constantly and learning the patterns. Reverse engineering is a skill that you should be sharpening every single day, okay? We all know there's no true shortcut to success that will remove all the work for you and guarantee your fame and wealth. But reverse engineering, when done correctly, is one technique that will push you on the fast track to success by helping you understand what's going on at the deep level that we talked about. The idea is to simply find what is working and figure out why. Find what's not working and figure out really why. Dig deep into the specifics and get this firm grip on the meaning behind everything. This way you can work on replicating success stories and dodging the failures. Now, if you're not actively paying attention to this every day, you're losing out on a ton of valuable insight that tells the real story behind why you are or aren't succeeding. This is what a product cannot provide. I can give the perfect system. They can follow it, but unless I can see what they're launching, I don't know what the problem is. And most of the time when someone comes to me and shows me exactly what they're launching, it's a very clear, there's very clear mistakes that goes against what needs to be done. And the only way that that would be able to come out is from coaching and looking directly at campaign by campaign by campaign, but obviously that's impossible. Reverse engineering is the other way to go about it, but you have to pay attention to the details so you can start looking and comparing your campaigns with the campaigns you're reverse engineering. So yeah, again, other than personal coaching, this is the only technique that can give you a great idea about the quality of your own campaigns. You'll get to really see and understand the details behind a success and failure, and then use that insight to control the quality of your own campaigns. So again, when I look at people's case-by-case situation, I get to take a good look at exactly what kind of niches they're choosing, what kind of concepts they're choosing, what kind of designs they're choosing, what kind of targeting they're doing. All of this opens up a whole new world. This can't be found out just through randomly going through a course and not reaching out and really sharing your information about what you're really launching. And a lot of people have reservations about sharing what they launch, but it's needed. So I started to realize how important it is to see inside of a business. With all the best systems, tools out there, softwares, none of it really matters if you're launching bad campaigns. And again, a lot of the time you won't even know you're launching bad campaigns until you start really, really, really reverse engineering the successful and unsuccessful. And then you're looking at the unsuccessful like, hey, a lot of these shirts kind of like line up with my shirts. Like they're looking similar, so maybe I need to look at what I'm doing and make some tweaks. This takes work. You have to sit down. It takes work, sure, but it's worth it. So it's a shortcut that takes work for sure, but it's worth it when you actually get to sit down and look at the ins and outs of a good number of dozens and dozens of campaigns, so you can see both sides of the coin. Studying both sides, it really will open you up completely as far as what you need to expect whenever you succeed, what you need to expect when you fail, and how to turn that around. Once you begin looking at both sides of the coin, you'll start looking at your own campaigns in an entirely different light. You'll start looking at some of your old campaigns and realizing where you screwed up. Maybe you can revive those. And then you'll start thinking twice about the kind of campaigns you launch, the kind of campaigns you send to your designer, because once a design goes out to your designer, you're either spending time or money. You have to protect those two. So you need to be strict about what you're choosing. Now I've seen like I always attend webinars and stuff like that and watch videos, and I see some of these guys, they'll just click around and choose any kind of concept. Like they won't even, I'll take this one, I'll put that one on the list just in case, put that one on the list, and it's sending the wrong message. You can't just go around choosing a whole bunch of crappy campaigns and sending them off to your designer, spending time, spending money, and then putting them up and they fail because the concept sucked. The concept is the thing that you have to focus on most. When it comes to the e-com / print on demand business, it's all about the campaigns. You need to drill down into them, uncover the data you need to understand the why behind the success or failure. Again, this important data is the niche, the design, the concept, targeting, who they're targeting, fan page, what their fan page is, their ad copy, how do they approach the ad promotion, and what their customers are saying. Are they suggesting anything else? Because if so, then you can hurry up and snatch that concept before they launch it and launch your own based on customer suggestion, which is the most powerful way to come up with concepts. These key elements are what success and failure are made out of. And in this business, so for you to actually, what am I saying here? So these key elements are the why. What is it? I don't know what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say basically about the niche, design, concept, targeting, everything. This is what makes up success. This is what makes up failure. If you don't know everything that's going into each of these elements right here, then you're going to be clueless about what's actually happening when you launch your own stuff. And then you'll kind of like, you'll make these statements about I'm launching. I had faith in this one. All I got was likes. All I got was shares. People said they wanted to buy, but they didn't buy. Until you are understanding the elements, all of these elements deeply, you will be clueless about the why behind success or failure. So here's the pattern part, which is where things start to turn magical. After you've been digging around, doing reverse engineering for a number of campaigns, you'll start to notice these certain patterns that are connected to failed campaigns and patterns that are connected to successful campaigns, and your brain will work this out, okay? Certain patterns that show up in almost every success case and certain patterns that show up in almost every failed case, you start putting those together and you start to know what to avoid and what to go after. These patterns, once you begin realizing them, will create a huge freaking shift in your business. Okay, this is one of the things that took me to the next level. It's kind of like a hidden insight that you can't find anywhere else that brings about tons of knowledge and results and insight. Reverse engineering is the only way to get this kind of insight. There's no other way to get it. So reverse engineering is actually like one of my favorite things to do other than like the extreme targeting technique. You guys know I like have fun doing that. I love doing extreme targeting. It's one of the best things in the world. It's the best way to target on Facebook. If you're still doing the old audience insights technique, stop doing it, okay? Audience insights is good, but you want to go with extreme targeting. Get that knocked out and then go use audience insights if you want to dig out any more. Okay, but I'm just I get on webinars and the targeting part comes up and they start the whole, all right, and we use audience insights, and what you do here is you pop in phishing, and I'm just it's so boring to me, and it's less effective in my opinion than actually seeing buyers with your own two eyes. Like, let's be serious, we're seeing the buyers and going after them, and you guys know that. You guys went through the product commission bubble, but that's definitely one of my favorite things to do, okay? And reverse engineering is one of my other favorite things to do because of the insight that I get. Can't be found anywhere else, and it tells me how to make my next move. Once you've broken into the detailed roots of a campaign success or failure, you can begin making the connections, looking out for those patterns that have shown up, will show up in your own daily routine of launching campaigns to find a winner. You can look out for those and, bob and weave those failed patterns and go after what is succeeding. I did the same thing when I got started in the CPA world and started making money. And I do the same thing to this day. And it's still one of the most effective techniques to cut through the headaches and just the sheer frustration of a learning curve and get to success faster, simply spying on your competitors and paying attention to detail. Find the ones that are doing well and do what they're doing. And of course, find the ones that are doing crappy and avoid what they're doing. Simple concept here. It's a lot more simple in the CPA world since you can pretty much literally copy someone's entire campaign approach, make your own kind of ad banner, and just run your own version of it. But in the e-com print-on-demand business, it's almost exactly the same. You just have to make a few tweaks. But that's not even what it's about. It's just about actually collecting the insight from looking at each of those key elements that we talked about. So if I had known how important and powerful reverse engineering was in my first year and a half of entrepreneurship, I'm 100% positive it wouldn't have taken me so long to break through and have my real first success. I guarantee it wouldn't have. I didn't really follow any real system of actually reverse engineering what was working or what was failing. So I wasn't even halfway there. Yep, never reverse engineer anything. I just simply followed the products I had invested in, jumping from course to course, shiny object, trying to figure out what I was doing wrong pretty much. And it took over a year and a half to get the freaking ball rolling by myself. And, as I said in one of the posts in the group, it took me a year and a half to get the ball rolling. I had to hear people cussing at me, telling me how I'm nothing for all that time when I could have had a shortcut. I could have had a shortcut. So that's why I stand behind the shortcut word, because I could have had a shortcut. Anything other than what the stupid stuff I was doing, trying to game the blackjack system, stupid stuff. Anything other than what I was doing in the first year would have been a shortcut. One sec. All right, the funny part is the whole reason I started making money in June 2011 after all that time was because I saw someone running a credit report offer, okay, and I got the idea to really look into what they were doing. So I really looked into all of the key elements really in the CPA world, and I made my own spinoff. He was running something kind of gray hat. I made a change and turned it into white hat and started doing pretty well. So at that time, I didn't even know what I was doing. But that was the first time I really used reverse engineering. Since it was unknowingly, the whole reverse engineering thing flew over my head for the next couple of years and came back full force when I began trying to break into the Teespring world. Okay, when I first got started with Teespring, again, I launched dozens and dozens of campaigns and sold nothing. Okay, so for all you guys out there saying, hey, I launched 5, I sold nothing, I launched 10, I sold nothing. I'm going to do my best to make sure that you hit this success as fast as possible, but don't get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. After tons of failures, something clicked, and the reverse engineering kind of thought, it became brewing in my mind again when I asked myself a question. How are these guys really selling all these freaking t-shirts? There was one shirt in it actually that gave me this thought. And I remember like it was yesterday. It was one shirt that I saw and it just left me dumbfounded. I was just like, how? Like, what in the world is going on here? Like, how are they selling these shirts? I've launched 30 shirts and haven't sold one. This guy launched this and he sold 500. What am I doing wrong? So that's when I started looking at all of those key elements. Well, what niche is he going after? Well, what concept is this? What kind of concept is this? Let me look at his design and really actually sit back and look at it. Who is he targeting, So Don Wilson introduced the Teespring business opportunity to the masses again when he released his free case study video, which gave a great starting point and a good set of steps that needed to be taken to get the ball rolling. Still with the good case study from someone who made $20,000 in a few days with Teespring and a set of actionable steps. The stuff I was launching in the beginning sucked. It had no chance of selling. That's why I launched so many shirts and didn't sell anything, because I was launching crappy shirts. I felt I was doing exactly what Don said to do, but it just wasn't working for me. 96% of the people in the world at this point would have thrown their hands in the air and said, hey, screw this. I've done exactly what Don said. This crap doesn't work. This is all a scam. You can't sell t-shirts online. It just wasn't working for me. Not to say that it wasn't good material, because it was, but what I was doing wasn't working. Truth is, even though this was just a quick case study video, it served its purpose of providing me with an opportunity and a cut through the fog. And watching a case study video, watching a case study video that explained the ins and outs of the campaign that sold 20,000, it gave me the knowledge I needed to get started in a good place. So I started better by watching his video than I would have started if I was just stumbled into Teespring. So maybe I would have launched 100 shirts if I would have just stumbled into it. But it allowed me to cut through a lot of the headache and frustration had I just found it by myself. And case studies are like volunteered reverse engineering from the creator of the campaign. So this was my first taste at the power of reverse engineering when it came to Teespring. But it was incomplete. That was the problem. First of all, it was just one case. That's where I screwed up at, thinking I could just take this one case and run with it and think I had the knowledge I needed. One case couldn't provide me the amount of data I needed to fully educate myself on the true why behind success and failure. Also, his campaigns were in the sports niche, a niche I wasn't really interested in getting into. I was trying to get into the regular niches like nursing, fishing, teachers, those passion niches there. So I made a ton of mistakes in the beginning, because since it was a standalone case in the sports niche, um, I I have the false knowledge that it was all the same, from going from sports to people that like pit bulls, and people that are teachers, and to people that like fishing. They're going to be all the same kind of targeting across the board, and that's where I messed up at. It was not like that. Okay, so I made a lot of mistakes up front. What I needed to complete my shortcut was more cases. I needed to see a bunch of campaigns. I needed to get a good idea of the why behind these campaigns, behind the success or failure of these campaigns, the why behind the niche, why they choose this niche, why did you choose this concept, why they make the design like this, why they target who they targeted, and how can I find out who they targeted. All right, so this is when I began dipping more into the whole reverse engineering idea. I began following a structure every day of digging. Some of you guys know what's going on here. Of digging deep into winning and losing campaigns for my own reference. This started out for my own reference. I started doing this every day as a part of my daily routine, so I can start getting good insight about, all right, what is it really, what's really happening behind these successes? What's really happening behind these failures? I need to figure it out, put it on paper. This proved to be a turning point in my business as I began to see more and more campaigns succeed after figuring out the few hidden mistakes I had been making over and over. After a while, I started to notice the patterns. I corrected the patterns that I was doing that related to all of the failures I saw, and I started to go after what I saw the successful people doing. Boom. So I did this every day, and it turned into a valuable piece of the puzzle for me. Now, fast forward, once I began having huge success launching campaigns and finding winning t-shirts, I began teaching the reverse engineering concept, this whole process, to my students through a program I released called The Shack. Dun dun dun. I taught by doing in The Shack. This program turned into a huge success as customers loved the concept of me actually digging and doing the reverse targeting research for them and serving it all up on a silver platter. This was my favorite program, and it was my most well-received program. Okay, Shack was one of those one-of-a-kind programs that changed many lives. Nothing like it around. Haven't seen nothing like it since then, since last year. The concept was simple, but never seen before, never done before. Every single day, I served up tons of value by fully reverse engineering one successful campaign and one failed campaign, covering both sides of the coin. So this is an ongoing program that provided value every day. This meant tons of campaigns being analyzed from head to toe and broken down in PDF format, covering every key element that we talked about. Okay, so this wasn't in the case like where I had the case study from Don. That was only one case. It was a good peek into the ins and outs, but it led me down the wrong path by assumption, thinking everything was the same. I didn't have enough cases. So by now you probably have an idea of what's happening here with this whole reverse engineering thing. The Shack was easily, again, my most loved program ever, and ever since it ended, I've had tons of requests to bring it back. I said I would bring it back in the last on the last page of the actual membership area in one way or the other. And it's just been, it's a lot of work, so it's been something that's just been sitting on the back for a long time. But it is back. Bigger, badder, 10 times better. Reintroducing the Shack. I need a round of applause type of GIF, type of sound clip here, but I don't have it. All right, guys, listen. Okay, so it's back in the flesh. It's finally back in the flesh after a year of hiatus. It's newly updated to provide even more value based on my updated teachings. The same format will be used as the old one, but I've added a couple perks to the program to make this even more valuable and awesome. Okay, we still do a full analysis every day. Monday through Friday, we'll cover 2 campaigns, 1 success and 1 failure. I'll be analyzing everything from t-shirts to necklaces, so I'm adding necklaces, the whole gear bubble process into this. Also, we'll even look at some physical products that people are doing in their Shopify stores, breaking down the key areas: niche, concept, design, targeting, ad copy, ad banner, what the fans are saying, everything, okay? This program was so crazy because it gave so much value on a silver platter. This is one of the programs that Pedro and Mariana really it's one of the things that really took them over the edge. Just looking at this program, seeing all that inside of the reverse engineering, this is what made them begin actually making sales. All the key elements that make up the inner workings of a campaign success or failure, broken down in PDF format, covering all of those key elements. And this is one of those things that Commission Bubble couldn't provide, that no informational product can provide. It's a more of a hands-on kind of deep in the system, deep in the field kind of work, where you're really getting into the nooks and crannies. So it's like as close to a personal coaching program as possible. The exact system Pedro and Mariana use every day. It's the exact system I use every day, talking about Commission Bubble here. So there's absolutely no doubt in my mind anyone can take this system and turn it into a success as is. However, the one thing that no informational product can provide is this kind of ongoing service where we produce new content every single day, looking at these campaigns that are working right now, looking at campaigns that are not working right now, and always making sure we keep I'm sick. Making sure we keep our eye on what's happening now, so we know what to do now. Having a ton of these little reverse engineering case studies at your fingertips will provide you with priceless insights you won't find anywhere. Okay. So what's new? What's new in the 2016 version? We're going to have weekly hot seat training. First of all, that's the first bomb that I'll drop right there. I did a bonus for a hot seat style workshop with just a small part of my list. It was a bonus for people that picked up a particular product, and this was the best, one of the best workshop webinars I had, with about 10 people on it. We did the hot seat style workshop, and it was awesome. The amount of value in there was just crazy, and we're going to do that every single week. So this is the personal side right here. This was not in the original Shack. We didn't meet at all. I just provided the content every day. So every week we will do the hot seat style training, and basically what that is we get on call. It's a workshop more, so it's not like tons of talking and stuff like that. It's everyone involved. People, they're getting the floor. I'm opening up the mic for people, asking certain questions, and putting everybody in the hot seat, and we're all looking at each other's business and just focus on how to make it better. Full video analysis this time around, I will include, along with the PDF of everything how we did in the past, I will include the full video analysis as well, where I talk about the shirt or the necklace or whatever it is, and give my opinion on the details of what I think is the root cause of the success or failure, and pretty much just give the chance for me to cover more things that I didn't cover in the PDF. Also, we'll get a dedicated Facebook group, and this is focused 100% on just like making requests for me to review certain campaigns and for us to talk about reverse engineering techniques and stuff like that. So I want to keep it focused on that one topic, but I want to make sure that I have the dedicated Facebook group so we can have those requests, so we can have those conversations and have a place to all meet up. And you get a new updated Shack feed. The old one was fine, but this one's going to be a lot better, more organized, and more user friendly. So I wanted to take a quick look at the old one. So here is the old one here, the Shack feed. This is the original, launched Monday, March 16th last year, okay? And as you can see, we have two columns here. It's very simple: successful, unsuccessful. And what I did here is go through, these are all shirts since it was about Teespring at that time. And what I did is went through and looked at a successful shirt and an unsuccessful shirt every day and broke it all the way down. So as you can see, we just got a lot of awesomeness here. Like, this is definitely amazing insight that you get from looking at all of these different cases. You see we're over 13 pages of content here for Monday through Friday, 2 shirts a day. So let's go here and look in the PDF and get an idea of how I broke down the reverse engineering process. All right, so as you can see here, it starts off with the shirt. I give you the actual Teespring location, the amount sold, which might not work so much now with the new filter, but that's no problem. The actual shirt here. Then I talk about the niche. I discuss what the niche is, what I think about the niche. Then I talk about the design, what I think about the design, any points I can pick out of the design, where can it get better, where were there mistakes at, the concept, the actual what it's saying that's actually selling. I go into the concept, what I think about it. And here, possible targeting angle is huge. I actually give actual interest. So it's like, how huge can you really get? These are all going to be interests that are coming from extreme targeting, so you're going to know it's going to be the best stuff. But I also go in and find some good interest for this niche in case you wanted to hop in, okay? And then I give you the fan page location. Then I talk about the copy, banner, and approach. And I ended off with what the fans are saying and pretty much comment on I go through all the comments and stuff like that and see if I can find anyone making suggestions about a new design, a new variation, or anything else, anything interesting that fans are saying goes in this section here. So as you can see, tons of freaking value from one little shirt here. We break all the key elements down and discuss everything. And we have this for 13 pages, okay? Let's go to the last page here. I mean, just going through this stuff here, man, and really paying attention to the detail, what's being said here. It can increase your skill so fast. And here we are at the end. As I said here, it's been an awesome 3 months with you guys analyzing and reverse engineering tons of campaigns, both successful and unsuccessful. I've gotten tons of amazing feedback within the past 3 months about this program and plan on bringing it back in some form or fashion soon. I'll be sure to keep you updated if you have any comments. So this was definitely my most well-received program of all time, and I plan on bringing it back a little bit sooner than happening now, but I mean, it's a lot of work. So pretty much it's the only time that I did have to get in and get everything actually set up to go and have the time to sit down and reverse engineer campaigns every day. So the Shack 2016. Um, First of all, you'll get the entire catalog that we just saw from the original Shack feed. That's 13 pages, filled to the brim with campaign after campaign, analyzed down to the bone. Okay, just going through that, that's a ton of gold. Um, the Shack 2016 will last for 60 days. It will begin May 2nd and run until July 4th. So 60 days this time, especially with the added perks on there. It's just even more work. So it is 30 days shorter than the original with added perks, though. More work, more content, more value. I can only begin to imagine the amount of value that will be pouring out of this membership area for the next 2 months, okay, every freaking day. The concept of the Shack is something that has helped tons of people break through, and I've made things even bigger. Okay, I've stuffed this program full of so much value, it's unbelievable, and all you have to do is receive it all on a silver platter, apply it to your business. Most importantly, look out for the patterns that you spot, and get out there and start replicating the success that you see. Just to put this out there, this is never happening again. Ever. I will never bring back the Shack again after this time. This is definitely the only time I will bring it back because it is a lot of work again, and it's not something that I want to continuously bring back over and over because of the amount of work that I have to put into it, taking away from time of me actually working on the inside of my business. Okay, I just know how powerful this program is, and I definitely have enough time in the next 60 days, next 2 months to put my all into this. The results, the nature of this program brings motivated me to bring it back for this one last time and to do it even bigger and better by going all in. The video analysis and the weekly hot seat editions alone are going to be just incredibly useful in being more help to speed up your routes to success. Okay, so let's recap. The Shack is back. The Shack 2016, that is, it is back. It is in full effect, and it's going down May 2nd, ending July 4th. Okay, it includes everything in the original program. That's a value of 247. That's what the price was when I launched it a year ago, and we had over 100 people in the program. It also includes the new additions for the 2016 version of weekly hot seat webinars, and the value of that is easily $9.97. Okay, we're getting on every week. That's no joke. That's a lot of work there. Video analysis is also a lot of added work onto the PDF that you guys already will be supplied with, and the dedicated Facebook group, so we can have a place to meet, so you can make requests of different shirts or necklaces that you want me to reverse engineer, and we can all have a central location. And of course, the new Shack feed, a lot prettier, a lot more user friendly, and overall better experience. All right, that's just one serious rule to the Shack, and this was the same rule in the beginning. In the original Shack, everything that happens in the Shack must stay in the Shack. Anything that happens in the Shack, just like Commission Bubble, you cannot go around teaching this stuff or posting about the stuff in all of these on the rest of these groups. Just like, I asked in Commission Bubble, there's stuff in Commission Bubble that people don't teach, like the targeting stuff. Go around and try to find people teaching extreme targeting. You won't find it because no one teaches it. If anyone started teaching it, they will know they'll have to give me credit for it because I haven't seen anyone doing the kind of targeting that I do. Period. They all go to the audience insights and do the same kind of stuff. So same thing here, like whatever happens in the Shack, whatever we go, whatever we review in the Shack, whatever content that's produced here, it has to stay in the Shack, okay? All right, so what's the cost? What's the cost? $497. $497 is the outsider pricing. Outsider. This is for outsiders, okay? Now, all next week I'm running webinars with people for their list. That's what I would call outsider, not not to be disrespectful to them or anything, but they are the outsiders. They're not on my list. They're not on my webinar right now. So that is the outside market price, okay, for 97, and it's worth at least double this with all of the content that's going to be oozing out here. I mean, this is an ongoing service for 60 days, so it's kind of like it goes without saying. And for you guys, for my family, for my people that's on my list that open my emails, that show up to my calls, and actually they're connected to me personally, not an outsider, 297 for the entire program. It's not recurring. This is a flat fee for the entire next 60 days while we go over everything that we're going to be doing in Commissionable, okay? So $497 for the outsiders. If you like join a webinar with some of the guys that I'm going to be holding a webinar with next week, and look at this webinar is going to be $497. Only for people on my list that are connected to me, they get this special price, okay? So claim your spot. Claim your spot. This is a program that is, like, again, it can't be found anywhere else. The insight that you get from this can't be found in an informational product. The concept of this program, the whole reverse engineering on a silver platter concept of this program can't be found anywhere else. And the insight that it provides is gold for anyone, newbie, veteran, whatever it is, okay? So go to jointheshack.com/go. It's www.jointheshack.com/go to sign up. Okay, I'm going to go there right now, actually. All right, the return of reverse engineering on crack. It is the Shack. This is the page that you will see here at jointheshack.com/go, and you can get a review of all of the features here. You know, campaign analysis every day, Monday through Friday. Reverse engineering, one winning, one losing, weekly hot seat style webinars, workshops, full video analysis along with the PDF breakdown, and a brand new awesome Shack feed, and the dedicated Facebook group starting May 2nd, ending July 4th. Okay, scroll down here and you will see it is $297. Now I'll be setting up an entirely new page for the guys I run webinars with, because again, the market price is actually $497 for something of this value. Okay, so all you have to do is go to this page. You pretty much heard all this stuff here on the call. Click the button there and get started. This is what you'll see here. All right, so there is limited spots available, okay? This is going to be a limited offer, since I am cutting the price at a pretty good discount for the people that come in early under my umbrella. So there's limited spots, and I will be shutting it down pretty much when I start running the webinars with other people, so they can't find this one with the $297 price tag. Okay. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, we're going to go ahead and do a Q&A. And this is questions about anything. Like, you guys can ask me a question about my life. You can ask me a question about what kind of ad you should launch between photo posts and link posts. You can ask a question about the old Shack, the new Shack, whatever it is. Any questions that you guys have saved to the end, go ahead and let them loose right now, and I will definitely answer them, okay? Yes, I will. All right, that. Put this in here in the chat box for you guys is www.jointheshack.com/go. Okay. All right, just pop that in the chat box. Again, go ahead and drop in with any questions that you guys have about anything that's on your mind right now, so we can go ahead and knock this out. The membership period is for 60 days, 60 days. So I'm going to go back and look for all of the questions here and start from the top. So go ahead and pop in your questions as I go to the top and start knocking them out. Give me 1 second. Okay. Said the shortcut is doing what I tell you to do. Funny. All right, all right. Yes, Chris Recker says he likes to be sold so he can learn from that person. That's a good way to put it right there. Definitely, and that's just paying attention to the details. You're not going to learn anything unless you're paying attention to the raw details there. Tom says, can I explain string targeting? I'm not sure of that term. Maybe that's a term someone else uses. I'm not sure what string. Oh, are you saying extreme targeting? Tom, if you're asking what extreme targeting is, it is in the commission bubble group. And, I mean the commission bubble product, which I'm pretty sure you might have. If not, let me know. I can explain it for you. Richard says, when I'm doing extreme targeting, sometimes I find like a list of 3 pages of interest, and together the audience size is sometimes millions and millions. My question is, which interest should I choose in this type of situation to use in my ads? So basically when I'm doing extreme targeting, I'm listing anything I find that pops up in the audience insights as a targetable interest. I just list it in a notepad for my later use and build a big list of interests to use whenever I want to start testing, whenever I want to start scaling up. So in this way, eventually for a certain niche, you'll be kind of done with targeting. You won't have to do it every day. You won't have to run and do it every time you want to target. Every time you want to scale up, you'll have a folder full of interest ready to go for you. So um, I wouldn't say that you're going to put every interest that you find as a targeting. There's different ways to approach it. Like the whole method of testing things that I went over, of launching 1 single interest ad, 2 group ads, and 2 flex ads or something like that, and pretty much picking out of your list of interests there. So the audience size that I like to stick around is around 30,000 as a minimum and around maybe 300,000 as the maximum. I'm sorry, I was talking fast, Kathy. Let me know if that answered your question, Richard. All right. Let's see. What time will you be doing the meetings? The meetings will be well, at the workshop, the weekly targeting workshops, or the hot seat workshops. I don't have the time for that yet. I'm gonna poll everyone to see what the best day would be, according to the poll, and what the best time would be. So I want to make sure that I'm doing something where people can be able to make those calls, because it's important to make a hot seat style call, because it's a hot seat. Like, we need the participation of everyone that's there. And the content will be released every day around noon for the actual reverse engineering campaigns. Every day at around 12 o'clock, we will release the new content for new reverse engineering campaigns, and then once a week, I'm thinking of maybe on around like Thursday, to do the hot seat style webinars. But that's all going to be based on actually polling everyone. When is additional or difference between old Shack and new Shack feed? I'm using a much better membership platform. I didn't really use a membership platform for the old Shack. It was just it was just like a page builder. It's like really like low key kind of thing, but it's a lot better, like a lot easier to go through and find everything, and it's going to be a lot less mistakes. Yeah, the course is for 60 days. This is like content coming every single day for 60 days. So yeah, definitely it's for 60 days, 2 months. I have a question. Can you get rhinestone designs on shirts for a print-on-demand business? Does Gearbop offer that? I don't think they offer rhinestone designs. I have an actual student that does rhinestone designs or has a rhinestone kind of design company, but I think he does everything himself in-house. I don't know of any print-on-demand places that actually offer the rhinestone option as of yet. Please repeat the name of the book from the beginning. That was The Practicing Mind. The Practicing Mind. Um, Trying to think of the author. I can't remember the author's name right now, but it's very, very good book about really, really letting go of the fear by being in the moment at all times and working from that place and practicing and mastering whatever you're facing. And audience size 30,000 to 300,000? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, yeah, I mean that's my ideal size. I like to stick around. Like I'll go where, wherever. The minimum is definitely 30,000 around that area. But I'll definitely go into the millions as well, especially when I'm scaling up. But my ideal audience size, especially in the beginning when I'm testing out a new campaign, is going to be in that range right there. Let's see. Will it be on Smart Member? No, 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 no. It's not on Smart Member. I haven't really looked much into the Smart Member membership platform yet. I've launched a few campaigns where I spent $25 and got no clicks. What should I do? Maybe it's the design or the concept. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much answered your question. Most of the time that has to do with the design, or the concept isn't hard hitting enough for them to want to spend their money, to pull out money out of their wallet. I mean, their credit card out of their wallet, type it in and go through all of that just to buy a t-shirt or a necklace, whatever it is. You have to have a hard hitting concept for sure. And then the design, a lot of the times, if you're getting clicks to the website and they're going and looking at your Teespring page or your Gear Bubble page and still not buying, a lot of the times that has to do with the design. That would be my first idea of the culprit. But if they're not clicking at all, I would definitely look into both the design and the concept, and maybe even the targeting that you chose. But if you did it with extreme targeting, I wouldn't worry about the targeting then. I only get post engagements and no clicks on the links. Okay. Yeah. Are you launching PPE ads, or like is that what you're doing mostly? Mostly PPE ads? How successful is your Shack members? Well, I have a number of people that went on to do some pretty big things from investing in the Shack. Pedro Mariana is obviously the front runners there as being number two sellers on the entire Gear Bubble platform. But there is a number of other people. You go in the Commission Bubble group, you can see a few people talking about what it has done for their business when I did launch it in there. Okay, Marie, you say you have your own setup as well to heat your own tops for rhinestone. If that's the case, then that's definitely an area that you can look into. This is something that's new for me, like where I'm just getting and starting with a coaching student who has his own rhinestone business, and we haven't gotten to that part yet because we're tackling the actual print on demand first and get money coming in there. Um, Thomas Sterner, there's the author of the book. Thanks, Waylon. Can you review my site in Shack private Facebook message? I don't like showing my site to everyone. Okay, I can do that. Just shoot it over to my message box on Facebook, and I can get to that. In the Shack, will you also go over mugs and glasses as well? Yeah, any product in Teespring or Gear Bubble, if I find it, I will review it. I will rip it apart. Even like I said, Shopify items, little jewelry pieces and stuff like that. If I find it, I will analyze it down to the bone for you guys. Uh, Coffee cups, yes, you launch PPE. Okay. All right, yeah, so if you're just getting post engagements, you're just getting likes, and no one's clicking through, the first thing I would look at is the design and the concept. So this is probably something, again, this is like one of those hard things. It's nearly impossible for me to give a really good idea of what's going on there without actually seeing on the inside. Do you teach sublimation shirt concepts too? Are you in that market? Any good? I haven't done anything with sublimation yet. I'm still on the simple concept, simple designs that look really good and crisp with really powerful concepts. That's what I'm doing right now. So I haven't got into the sublimation, so I can't say much about that. But I do plan on checking it out in the future. But I mean, the simple, uh, you know, straight up font kind of typography kind of design is working really, really good for me. Will this give specific examples of creating PPE, WC, and or other types of ads? Yeah, that will all be covered pretty much in the ad section of the analysis, where I pretty much tell what the ad approach is, what they launched. Was it a PPE ad? Was it photo post, link post? Whatever I can find out about the ad will definitely be posted. If you need like actual over the shoulders about setting up these kind of ads, Chuck, I can do that as well. Just hit me up with a message in my inbox. When you help me with Facebook targeting based on the shirt niche, will you help me with Facebook targeting based on the shirt niche? I mean, if you're just hitting me up for support, I'm not sure if I can jump into and go do retargeting research and stuff like that, but I can definitely give you as much of a push as I can with the time involved there to see what I would do, what I would personally do with that particular campaign. The most important thing is actually seeing the product visually and seeing what's going on with it, and then making the choice to see what's going on there, what you can go, what you can do, what your next step should be, based on actually seeing what the concept and the design looks like. When does this offer close? Um, the 297 offer is more than likely going to be closing by next Tuesday when I have my first webinar with someone else, so I can kind of make sure that this one isn't floating around and people find the 297 price. But I'll keep you updated on that. Will there be a replay of the webinar? Yes, there will be. I have the recording right now, so I'll definitely be sending that out to all that registered. Yes, that's what I was referring in the examples of PPEWC. I will friend you on Facebook. Okay, yeah, add me on Facebook, and we can go from there. Chuck. How can you reverse targeting a winning campaign? I still don't get it. Well, like the key elements is the most important thing. You have to dig into what the niche is, who they're targeting, what they're targeting the niche with, the concept, and where it falls, um, the actual targeting and who they're targeting. And I literally find the post, go look at their customers on the like with the extreme targeting technique to see who they're targeting and get the targeting directly from there. So we're getting an idea of who they're actually targeting in for that particular campaign. So we're looking at their buyers. We're looking at the buyers that are voicing their purchase there and figuring out who they're targeting with that winning campaign. So then we can go and target the same people since we know that they're buyers. And you pretty much just dig in as much as possible and uncover as much information as you can about a winning campaign or about a losing campaign based on those key elements. And that's it. It's pretty simple. It just takes work. It just takes a lot of work. The daily info you are providing is Monday through Friday. Yes, Monday through Friday. And the weekend is the off time. And that is for 60 days. Yes, 60 days. Monday through Friday, and we'll have a call once a week. Let's see. Do I usually launch PPE as the test? I used to launch PPE as the test most of the time when I have a new idea or I'm getting into a new niche. That's a good technique to go after. Recently, honestly, I've been skipping the whole PPE ads and just be going straight to a conversion ad, and it's been working for me. Like people say, hey, well, you're optimize, excuse me, you're optimizing for conversions, but Facebook isn't going to optimize it for conversions. Regardless of the situation, you're still targeting the same audience that you put into the interest box. So it's not like they're gonna go target some people that don't even care about your shirt. Like you're still targeting the same people no matter what approach you pick, whatever, no matter what objective you pick. Um, so I just go ahead and jump right in with the conversion ad, and all I track really is the purchase. So when I'm scrolling through my ads account, I can quickly see how much I'm paying for a conversion based on how much I'm profiting and easily make those cuts. Do you use retargeting? Of course I do. Of course I use retargeting. We talk a lot about retargeting in the commission bubble product. And I pretty much told everything that I do with retargeting there as far as the different pattern interrupts that we go about doing with like Placeit.net and stuff like that. Just putting the product on different models and different situations, real life situations. I do a lot with retargeting. Do you use Shopify? Which t-shirt fulfillment company do you use? I use Shopify, but I don't sell t-shirts on my Shopify store really. I just sell physical products and I keep Teespring for my t-shirt endeavors. I prefer just using Teespring because they're my favorite. And that's what I stick to. That's what works for me. And I just stick to selling physical products other than t-shirts and custom print stuff on my branded Shopify stores. Do do you launch what is that? Do you launch the regular store, main, or niche store? Okay, I launched when I first got started. I launched when I first got started with Shopify. I launched a regular main, general niche store, so I can start finding the niches that are working and start capitalizing off of whatever I found. And then when I had certain niches take off, for instance, like the wine niche had take off for me, then I started to open up different niche websites and focusing directly on that niche. And that's when it can get really, really powerful. My favorite is niche websites because the conversions will increase. You can get a lot of orders in. The average cart value raises. There are people adding things to their cart. Overall, it's just a better experience when you get to be able to have the niche stores. But I do suggest starting out with a general store until you find what niches are doing really well for you. About that, remember GearBubble now has a drop shipping component that ties into Shopify. Yeah, you can definitely do the GearBubble Shopify integration and use GearBubble's t-shirts. I prefer to use Teespring t-shirts and GearBubble for the necklaces and mugs and bracelets and keep it separated. It's just something I personally like to do. I like to keep things kind of separated. So I go to Teespring for the t-shirts, I go to GearBubble for the necklaces and bracelets, and I'll go to Shopify if I'm trying to sell anything else physical that isn't custom print. All right. What will be happening in the hot seat style? The hot seat style workshops, again, it's more of an interactive program, interactive workshop where I'm actually talking amongst the members there. We're talking together. I'm unmuting people so they can answer certain questions about their business. We're not like really like sharing our business with any of the members, but we're talking about our business, what our holdups are, what we need to do next, and pretty much having an interactive, fun conversation. And that's what the hot seat style webinar is all about. And I pretty much got the idea from how they do in events and stuff like that, where they do hot seats and actually put people in the seat and grill them about their business and talk about, okay, what do you need to do next to take your business to the next level? All right, have you or do you use ClickFunnels with selling physical products? I am playing around with using funnels and just would like some advice. I haven't started using ClickFunnels yet, but it's definitely on my to-do list, especially for the ability to upsell them and to get leads and build a list really fast, and lead them through a funnel. So that's one thing that is on my to-do list, and it's pretty high on my to-do list as well. So we'll probably be going through that together. And I'll definitely update everyone on the progress of me doing that, because I'm pretty excited about that as well. Trying out the different types of funnels and leading and walking them through the funnels seems like a fun thing to do. When you use Gearbubble, do you list your items only on Gearbubble? Yeah, me personally, I just list them on Gearbubble. I know Pedro and Mariana, they put all their stuff pretty much on their store with the integration. Do you do t-shirt giveaways? Do you teach email marketing? I do t-shirt giveaways as a way to build my list. So well, yeah, I do teach email marketing in that way. I have a certain system that I follow for list building, that I do giveaways and provide value in a story cell format when with my sequence for my list, and it works really, really well as far as like getting loyal people on your list and getting them to actually engage with your emails, open your emails up, and start to actually spend money from what you're promoting them. All right, that's caught up to the questions now so far. So let me go know if you guys have any more questions. Here we go again. Here's the page again for everyone that is interested in claiming their spot for the new version of the Shack. Jointheshack.com/go. Jointheshack.com/go. All right, so if you guys don't have any more questions, how many spots will you cap it off at? I personally am capping this deal here off at 30 spots, so they should go pretty quickly, especially with the webinar going out. There was 250 people registered for this webinar. About 60 people showed up, so it's a lot of people that still haven't gotten to check out the webinar. So that's it right now. I don't see any more questions. If you guys have any last minute questions, pop it in there. I hope you guys enjoyed the webinar. The stuff I was talking about in the beginning, that's that's the bloodline of success, guys. So I hope you really paid attention to that stuff, and appreciated the actual straightforwardness, and just telling you, like, it's time to get on the line. It's time to get on the straight line to success. Block out all of the fog around and try to focus on that straight line to success. And I am here every step of the way to help you. All right, looks like you guys enjoyed the webinar. Thank you guys for the compliments, all the compliments coming in. If you guys enjoyed the webinar, go ahead and continue sending in the compliments. I'm loving them. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Kathy, if you haven't really sat down to focus on the commission bubble course, make sure you get that knocked out and study it and master that, because it will definitely put you in a really good position. And this will just be the cherry on top whenever you are ready to sign up, if you're not ready right now. Alrighty, guys. So to end this off, my last notes to end this off, guys, is no half-assing. No half-assing, no fear. Let's get out there and hit it hard, okay? You guys that come on board for the Shack, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this program, and it's gonna be a ton of valuable insight that's gonna help change your business, okay? If you're not ready to come on board yet, don't worry about it. But just know that this will be the last time I run the Shack. So do what you can to see if you can get on board by the time this ends and I get started on May 2nd. If you have any questions about it, and that you didn't ask here, just hit me up on Facebook and let me know. And that is pretty much it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the webinar. Thanks again for showing up. And I will see you guys make sure you guys are in the commission bubble group, because I'm in there a lot. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, make sure you add me so we can chat on there. I'm always chatting with my customers and making sure they're good. And if you need anything at all, let me know, okay? Again, thanks for showing up, guys. I appreciate it. For the last time, the spot to go to claim your C4 commission, for the Shack is jointheshack.com/go, and I will be sending out webinar replays, and a timer will be going on the replay sales page and the sales page for this here to let you guys know how much time you have left. All right, guys. See you later. I'm stopping the recording right now. Sometimes if you don't stop the recording, it